Hello traders, and welcome to my new video on what do we think about high leverage. I actually have some mathematical calculations on why high leverage is as bad as it is, and this whole series that I'm doing on different parts of crypto that you probably want to avoid will hopefully help you from not making the same mistakes that I did. Again, if any of this is helpful to you, just check the link in the description below for all of the alpha that I have in my Discord. If you want to learn how to make a profit, I can help you. Okay, I made a video kind of like this before on how typically when you look at candlestick patterns, we actually look at the statistics of these candlestick patterns. The majority of the time, they actually do the absolute opposite of what we expect. So if you look here, what's going on? So 43% of the time on bullish engulfing patterns, which is typically very bullish, like one's right there, typically price actually falls. Why do I say that? Well, only 43% of the time did price actually close higher on the next candle. Now, if we look at bearish engulfing right here, there have been 104 bearish engulfing candles on Solana, and you can see right here, 58% of the time price went higher. Isn't that weird? Isn't it weird that the majority of the time that you get a very bearish candle, price goes higher? You get a very bullish candle, yeah, price just goes lower. A lot of times, price is going to move contrary to what you expect and to what other traders expect as well. That is one part of the system that is rigged against most retail traders. Now let's talk about the main system that I'm surprised I haven't really gone into full depth into. Okay, we're going to start off with something crazy, Rollbit. Why am I showing you guys this? Well, it's to show you an example of what not to use. This is the simulation. If you were to use 1000x leverage right now, the liquidation is a 0.065% price move. That is 6.5 basis points. Just to visualize that for you, let me minimize this. A 6.5% basis move to liquidate you would have already happened. If you had longed here, you would have already been liquidated. If you had longed here, your liquidation would be right here. If you short, your liquidation would be 6.5 basis points higher right here. Okay, so yeah, as you know, that's probably not a great deal. But here's a really interesting thing that's kind of sad. Again, if you use P&L fee for Rollbit, this is what you're buying into right now. You need a 0.117% price move for you to actually double your money. So what are we looking at here? Well, what I want to quantify is, let's say we use $1 as the wager. What we want to think about is what is our double percent chance, meaning me turning $1 into $2 versus the percent chance that I turned $1 into $0, liquidation. So there is a very likely chance that you're going to get liquidated on 1000x and a very unlikely chance that you would actually make money and double your money, okay? Now let's talk about the expected value. So look at this. This is the math right here, and all you really have to know. So I did a random walk calculation, which just basically assumes that one of these two events is going to occur, and this is the probabilities that I found. Now this is really sad, but also very interesting. If you use Rollbit on 1000x, you have about a 64% chance of getting liquidated and only a 35.7% chance of doubling. Now, when I say win, I mean to double. I don't mean making money, being profitable, but to actually double your investment, there's only about a 35.7% chance. Now, here's something really interesting that I did with ChatGPT. I gave ChatGPT all this data and I made sure it was all correct. And here's what it told me. So if you were to either make a dollar or lose a dollar, but you have this kind of system right now where you have a 35.7% chance of making another buck and a 64.3% chance of losing that buck, what would the expected outcome be using a Monte Carlo simulation? It's not good. If you had done 100,000 trials with this, guys, with $1, you would be down about $28,000, okay? Now, the expected value of this is actually 0.2819. What that means, for those that might not be as nerdy or love this as much as I do, what that essentially means is if you give me $1, on average across a long period of time, you're expected to lose 28 cents on the dollar for every trade you take. That is very bad and very negative EV. That's why obviously Rollbit 1000x is a complete scam. Now, there's something really shocking that I found. Did you know, it's a popular exchange now, and I've used it before. Mexi 200x leverage is the most scammy thing I've ever seen when it comes to leveraging crypto. I know that sounds like a very strong statement, but let me show you the math. So I didn't even believe that it was this bad, but it really is. If you're on 200x leverage, guys, you will be liquidated on a 10 basis point, i.e. a 0.1% price move. Now, that a 0.1% price move is just that. And you're not on 1000x, you're on 200x. That's it. So you're doubling. If for you to actually double your money, you would need a 0.5% price move. Does that make sense? So where I'm getting these percentages is I put the entry price of 10,000. And for me to get an 100% yield, i.e. to double my money, I need price to go down to 99.50 to double my money on this short. So my doubling will be a 0.5% price move lower. Okay? Or the difference of, 10,000 minus 0.5%. Here you can see that it's a 0.1% price move higher pretty clearly if you look at the difference between entry and liquidation price. This is a terrible, terrible, terrible setup. Terrible, terrible. This is what MEXC is doing to you guys right now. Like the 200x leverage, I've used it before. This is criminal. Like, look at this. A 0.1% kills you. And if you're going to double, make that same amount that you would actually lose, you would require a 0.5% price move. Now, I'm assuming no fees. The Rollbit part did have fees into it. This assumes no fees that you paid limit orders each time, okay? And you can see right here that you have an 83.3% chance of liquidation if you want to hold until getting doubled. 83% chance of liquidation on 200x. Yeah, it's bad. Are you shocked? I did only 1,000 trials this time, but as you can see, the expected value is absolutely god awful. The EV that I calculated was about 0.646. So that's really, really, really bad. That means for every dollar you give me, I'm actually expected to make 64.6 cents on that dollar, and you're expected to lose that exact amount. Not good. I tested this out because I couldn't believe that it was actually this bad, and it actually was this bad. I put a tiny amount into a MEXC account, and I actually did get liquidated at 36,423.5. Now, if you calculate this, my average entry price, percent to liquidation, this is a 0.1% price move. So on 200x leverage, yeah, a 0.1% price move will kill you. It's that bad. So yeah, MEXC 200x leverage, probably not a great idea. That's basically telling me that, the expected value of using any decent to high leverage on MEXC is death, essentially. And before I move on any further, what I do want to say, guys, is don't beat yourself up. A lot of crypto traders fail. I have had my shortcomings. We all have. It's not you. You're not the problem. It's not, your decision making. It's the system. What a lot of people don't understand is they say, oh, if you were more disciplined, this or that. But these systems are set up to make you fail. These systems are set up so that you hand your money over to exchanges. That's not a conspiracy. That's just math. Like if you look at the expected value of you doing very high leverage, you're guaranteed to lose. And what this is doing is assuming that, you use isolated margin for $1 each time. And if you keep doing that, you're just going to keep losing. So it's not your poor decision making or something like that. It's that these systems are rigged against you, essentially. Okay. Now let's look at Binance, which I expect it to be a little bit more fair. Here's the math. A 0.4% move would liquidate you on the highest leverage possible of 125x. Now, 0.8% move in your favor would double you. So your doubling is 0.8%. Your liquidation is 0.4%. Very simple calculation. With that, we have a 2/3 chance on Binance at max leverage that you will lose everything, and a 1/3 chance of you doubling your money. What does that look like? Well, it actually looks a little bit better. It is still a terrible system. You should not be doing that, but you can see that the expected value graph right here is actually not as bad. I mean, it's terrible, of course, but you can see that we actually had a little bit of flatlining of number of trials from like 250 to 500, I guess. Went a little bit flat. And that's because the expected value here is not as bad as it would be on like Rollbit or MEXC. However, this does not take fees into account. So the odds that you get liquidated and the odds that you double your money are actually a little bit worse than 33% and 66.66. Maybe 30% chance. I mean, 30% chance that you actually double, if that. So that is just a quick, presentation on some of the expected value and stuff that you can do here. So guys, what I do want to say with this kind of data is I don't want this to discourage you because I actually have made it full-time. This is my full-time job. And what I do is I look for alpha. meaning, hidden market advantages that I can generate because I know that this is a losing system. Any kind of high leverage strategy, you're just going to lose all your money. Like it's mathematically proven, like it's a casino. But what I've been able to do is find particular strategies that don't run in this same system. They perform arbitrage, passive income, plenty of different strategies. And if you're interested in just learning a little bit about that, you can click the link in the description below where I live stream. I show all my strategies live, and you can just pop in, pop out, whenever you want. If you like it, you can just subscribe. If you just don't like it, you can just unsubscribe. It's super, super simple. And yeah, I'm really happy about the Discord, and I think you will be too. But yeah, don't be discouraged. High leverage is going to kill you. Don't ever do it. There's only 0.1% of the time is this a good idea. Like 99.9% of the time, a strategy with this maxed out leverage is an awful idea. But I want you guys to look at these numbers and think that the problem isn't you guys. It's the system. Okay? So if you learned anything, use lower leverage, find good strategies, join my Discord. Happy trading. Don't get liquidated.